where to begin with this? It's such an important subject in my life, and I know it's been a very important subject in many other friends of mine's lives, some of which have taken their own life because of it. They always said growing up, it's the thought that counts. I really hope not. This mind, especially the way it's trained in Western culture, it's horrific. It's pumped full of information and told what to think and said, okay, now go and base your whole life on exactly what you think and be good, be a good person. This idea of being a good person, yeah, for real, man. Be harmonious out in the world. Be beautiful out in the world. This is really what I stand for. But there's also another side to that, and that is on our inner world. We are animals. We are the whole universe condensed into this tiny little system. And depending on who you are is depending on how much of each aspect, both positive and negative, you're aware of. And I know for myself in here, this has been brutal, real violence and craziness. But I love people, and I'm a good person. But how does that violence and disturbing and craziness, how does that relate to the idea of being a good person out in the world? I mean, in the Western way of seeing these things, it doesn't, and it's illness, or it's a serious problem to be suppressed or to be removed or eradicated from your own system through medication or through even with certain aspects of meditation, you can really suppress your inner humanity, your inner animal also. You can civilize yourself. For me, it's not about being civilized. It's about being harmonious with what we see inside ourselves and finding some way to express that in a non-violent way. In a very fun way too, There's so many aspects of this world, this society say that's bad, that are actually a lot of fun, I mean, it's probably not a popular standpoint, but the reason why abuse and war and violence and all that's so popular is because it's good fun, It's good fun to, if you're not feeling good or you're feeling weak or you haven't got something, to go and take it of somebody else. You get this free energy, you get this hit, you get this this buzz, and then you go on and do it again and again. And that's the disharmonious aspect of that control, which is so much fun, so beautiful to explore. So now what? Now you've just got to find some way of finding out how to express that in a harmonious way, which is for me all about what creativity is. It's whether that's through dancing. Like, I had an aspect of myself that was this full power energy, and every time it used to arise when I was younger, I didn't trust it. I didn't know what it was. It felt like it wanted to kill people, And this is going back very to puberty, and wow, it was so difficult to deal with, and so much fear laid on top of this vitality. And I first started letting it up on the dance floor, and tentatively and really cautiously, because I still didn't trust it, So hide in the corner of a dance floor and slowly let it up. But then I started to realize that, wow, this feels really good, and it doesn't do anything I don't want it to do. So I let it up, and even when dancing with people, they loved it, this full power, vital animal aspect. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to play with that killer aspect in harmony. Or you can choose to write poetry. I do a lot of writing of these aspects. And it's actually probably why we like things like Tarantino films, and some people, especially men, like watching UFC fighting or actually taking part in it, because it exercises these shadow aspects. So we're not allowed, we're told that are wrong to express in this society. And well, that's where the disease comes, that's where the problems come in, when you start separating off and repressing aspects of yourself to fit into a certain norm of what's good and what's acceptable. Yes, as I said earlier, what's acceptable out in this world and what's encouraged out in this world is harmony and beauty and peace. But if that comes on the back of repression and hiding from aspects of yourself, then it's going to create disease, and it certainly does. As I said, I've lost friends of mine. Like, you separate off, you see yourself to be, you experience yourself to be a beautiful being, but suddenly you've got these crazy desires, and try and separate yourself off from them. And they can get quite strong, especially if you're using drugs and alcohol to suppress these things. They can start really getting their own voice, and you can start having inner battles with them. And that's when you can call them possessions or inner demons, or that's when they really become problems. Whereas if you have these things coming in and you see these things, and whether they're coming from the outside world, from television, or whether they're coming from the inside world of an ancient genetic line, it doesn't really matter. What matters is you're seeing these things, these aspects of yourself that aren't really allowed to play out in the world. You're told they're not good, they're not allowed. Find a way to let them dance. Find a way to let them play. Write a story. If you have these dark, evil creatures in your brain with desires, naughty, dirty, angry, violent, or whatever it is, bring it out. Write a story. Create a being. Create a character for these aspects to play, and really understand where they're coming from. Because when you start playing with them and detaching from them, you gain a certain separation, a certain distance from these things that you think you're plagued with. And then from that distance, you can actually really start to see what they are. And then you become free of them. Then they're beautiful. Then they're out in the world to share. You can create this thing and you go, whoa, look at that. Inside me, that was so dark and crazy, and then you take it out into a poem or a story or even a dance, and you show it to people. You don't even have to show it to people, but it's, I love sharing. I love showing what I find in myself to other people. But you can just do this yourself, you can be at home in the privacy and the safety of your own home, and take these dark things out of yourself. Somehow find a way. Give it life. Give it a being, and wow, look at it. It's a very interesting experience. After time, after years, sometimes many years, you have to create with these things less and less, because there's this distance that becomes cultivated, and then there's a natural detachment, or a natural space between you and these disturbing things, or beautiful things. It doesn't matter, but most people know how to express and deal with the beauty. But to really touch your own shadow, your own darkness, and find a way of integrating that into your system, that's a real bitch, especially in this world of civilization. a civil human being, a gentle man. You know, there's no point in being any of these things if you're suppressing your animal nature, your beast. Then, as I said before, it becomes a problem, then it becomes disease. And over years, compounded, can be really serious. So yes, find a way to let your darkness play and be free of it, you know. Let it dance. Let your confusion and your anger and your depravity have a voice. Eventually, there will be a distance and you will feel peaceful with it. Just a process. So you might as well enjoy it in a creative way rather than suppressing it. I think that's about it, really. So be honest and true with yourself, even if you disagree with what you see. Be real, you know. Let it play, let it dance, give it a voice. And it's okay. It's private, it's yours. You don't have to share it with anyone. Or you can, you know, to inspire others, and to reach out to your hand and say, it's okay, I have that in me too. Thank you, beautiful beings. Yeah. Okay, one more thing. So there are already a lot of people out in this world already doing that, you know. They're already creating with their shadow, you know, and it looks really aggressive and really violent and disturbing, and you might judge them for that and sort of think that they're bad people. But it's exactly the opposite is true. You know, these beautiful beings are seeing this stuff in themselves and in society and deciding to create with it, you know, to get it out of themselves. So that shows you how beautiful they are. They're not acting upon these things generally. Again, there's a few people out there that aren't so harmonious, but generally, all these people that are creating with this darkness, with this shadow aspect, don't be scared of them. They are beautiful beings, like really. So let them into your heart. Soften yourself to them. You know, they're just an aspect of you anyway, an aspect of this world. And they're choosing very bravely to express that, you know, to liberate themselves from this inner turmoil. That's really beautiful. So learn to appreciate them. They will appreciate that. And we will become more of an integrated species here on this planet. And that's a really beautiful thing. So play your part. Learn to integrate. And we will be one here, you know, playing beautifully with each other. Again, thank you. Till next time, beautiful beings. Okay, from one more thing to an afterthought. And it's a bit strange that it is an afterthought, but it is. And I feel it really important to mention that one of the best places to explore a lot of these aspects of these shadow aspects is within the bedroom, within lovemaking. It's very important to understand first that it's all about conscious connection with somebody, with willing partners. And then when you have that and that trust and that safety in the heart, then exploring those shadow aspects with each other. Yeah, the bedroom is a priceless place and a very sacred place to help express and harmonize these polar opposites of ourselves. Yeah, so have fun, be true and honest and safe and in your heart, genuinely. Thank you. Again.